Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So what I'm about to say next is true generally for content creators, but seems to be heightened among VTubers for some reason, where certain VTubers get a notable amount of success and attention, and it goes straight to their ego, and that presents itself in often very embarrassing ways, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So our story begins with a VTuber named Bub. This is a Twitch partner who was recently banned on Twitch for the first time in her career. She was banned on August 10th, a week ago from now. And when she was banned on the 10th, she immediately started launching a defense, where she made several tweets like this stating, "I got banned on Twitch for 7 days for things I did not do. A small Dead by Daylight creator got very hostile towards me and my friends who played against him, and he nitpicked lines and made it all that I said it. I'm with my family right now, so I will appeal and get more into this later." And she makes this following reply saying, "As soon as the game was over, me and my friends moved on, but this person kept talking about me and making things up. I don't understand why I'm being punished for something where I am not in the wrong. This feels very wrong and unfair at Twitch support. I will be appealing with my POV tomorrow." So she's painting this picture that she was a victim of harassment. She did nothing wrong. She is being banned for the actions of someone else, an apparently very hostile person in the Dead by Daylight community. Well, as it turns out, that attempt to reach out to Twitch support was successful, because only 2 days after being banned, she was unbanned on Twitch, not even serving the full 7 days that she was originally facing. However, people would say, wait a second, something about this situation is just not adding up, and we need to see the other side of the story because something's not right. Now, if you look at her tweet that she made in defense of her ban, she now has a community note attached to it citing this tweet right here, where this individual paints a very different picture, sharing a clip from that stream in particular. They say, "You deserve to be banned. You and Anton Desu are both Twitch partners, and you, along with your friends, shamed a streamer with 700 followers because you lost a match of Dead by Daylight. You also pulled up his stream while live and all harassed him in his chat. Pathetic." So obviously we have two completely different stories. We have Bub's side, where she's saying that she was harassed and did nothing wrong and was unfairly banned. And then here's another perspective where this person is using this clip to claim that she and her friends, Bub and her friends, were actually the aggressors and were doing a lot of pretty awful things by the sounds of it. Now, you see this mention of another person here, Anton Desu here, this VTuber named Anne. They'll play a big role in this situation because they were one of the people in the stream. You can see their avatar down here will light up when she's talking, and listen to her because she does a lot of the talking in the clip. And let's give this minute or so long clip a listen because it'll be very telling about what the true narrative of this situation is.
4K hours and they're streaming this gameplay, bro. I'm so sure nobody is gonna get entertained by this shit.
They're a streamer?
Yep.
I'ma go annoy them. Of course he's a white man.
I wanna see the chat. I wanna see the
This
chat.
guy.
Hold on, let's see. Why are we being so
I
sad?
did not hump anyone this match.
Why you
No,
sit on
I'm
a
gonna put the vote
single
up. You can check it
gen?
yourself. Well, you sit on single gen. There were 3 gens left on the map. 1 gen was 99. The sheer amount of viewers and
guy's so
streaming
full
and
of
you
shit,
getting like this,
bro.
man. I did not hump a single person. Can you link the clip where I humped? Link it.
I'm gonna close their tab. It's not fun. This guy is whining like a little bitch and does not want to admit anything they're doing. He's got
That's
some
small dick
issues.
behavior. It's okay, it happens. That's why you only have 18 viewers.
Yeah, true. It's 2 partnered streamers in a single chat. It's too much for him to handle, unfortunately.
You open his stream, and the first thing you say is like, "Oh, of course it's a white guy." I'm like, what?
Dumbo fucking looking white man.
Oh boy.
Like, it wasn't racist. I just, you know, he looks very privileged. And he uses, the way he talks, tells a lot about how much privilege he has. Pre-pubescent white boy.
Yeah.
I said that his penis is very small.
So as a part of her original thread on the 10th, where she tried to defend herself against this ban, she mentioned this. So she was trying to say that the person in question here claimed that Bub and her friends said these things. Well, if you're playing like a bingo card here, it's pretty much a blackout. She and her friends pretty much said all of this. And you can already see this kind of mounting defense that Bub is making, where she's trying to say, I didn't say all of these things. It was other people saying these things. And that is true. A lot of the things that we heard in that clip were actually from Anne. Now, Bub said some disparaging things and agreed with disparaging things, but Anne did most of the talking and said the worst of the things, like the comments about his race and also the view shaming and all that stuff. But here's the problem. It's Bub's stream. She is responsible for shutting down that stuff if she doesn't like what she's hearing from the other people on her stream. And on top of that, she agreed with some of the points that were being made. She agreed in particular with the view shaming. So it makes her look pretty bad, and also the reason so many people on social media are focusing on Bub is because she's the one yapping so much about this, and she's the one caught in a million lies right now. So if we go back to her original message here, she is painting a completely unfair picture of what happened. She tried to paint herself as the victim and the other streamer as the aggressor, and that is not the case. Looking at that clip alone, we know that that is not the case. And she tries to say that she was just trying to move on. No, it seems like they were antagonizing the whole thing. And on top of that, you might have remembered when you were listening to that clip, there were several mentions of humping. And what they're referring to is this clip right here, where we can see the perspectives where the streamer is getting called out didn't do anything that this group was trying to accuse him of.
And then you do that.
What?
And then you hump me, okay.
What?
There we go. You're dead. Roses are red, my face. What the f***? Only happens when I see you. Oh, great.
Now, going back to that original thread from August 10th, she goes on further and makes even more ridiculous claims like this right here. So Bub says, I would like to also say that this person kept encouraging their audience to come over to my stream to report me and making allegations that I sent an army from my stream to his chat, which is a lie. The only people who came to his chat was Zim, Ann, and then after 2 minutes, myself. Also kind of funny that this person suddenly is hiding their VODs and privating them and subs, and only surely they have nothing to hide in this VOD. Why would they make VODs private otherwise? Last thing, though this is wrongful ban from that person, I don't support or encourage people going after the person that got me banned. Yeah, it's upsetting, but I don't want you guys hunting them down or wish them death threat. This will be resolved. If not, we will meet again in 7 days. So there's two major claims here that once again are easily debunked. So starting off on the top here, she's claiming that only the people from her stream, the people on the actual stream itself, her and her friends, were the only ones going into the streamer's chat to talk with him, which already is an issue. You're already going in there to cause issues. But on top of that, we know you're lying because here's the chat logs right here saying, sorry, we didn't mean to bring more viewers over. You clearly aren't worth it. Become a better person. So not only are they having this incredibly narcissistic comment here, but it's also implying in her own words that she brought more than just her and her friends from the actual stream. It sounds like viewers came over too. So she's caught in yet another lie and also just another terrible look for her. And on top of that, you would see Nap Nide. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. That is the streamer in question. We have not heard anything from him up until this point. However, on August 10th, he did make a reply. This was kind of buried at the time, but now people know who he is, and now people are paying attention to his message, where he claims basically everything that we just talked about, that the narrative was completely wrong as presented by Bub, and also that there was other further comments like someone saying that he should be shot, among other things. And on top of that, he says down here point blank that the VOD and his POV, everything is available, so any claims otherwise are just flat out lies. He has nothing to hide. And looking at everything that I can see, this guy has nothing to hide. This narrative has been completely made up by Bub and her friends. Now, this was the moment a couple days ago when that clip was released on the 15th. That's when the narrative shifted. The whole thing went 180 on Bub and her friends, where now these are the comments underneath her original post complaining about being banned on Twitch. You can see everyone's seeing right through all this nonsense. And eventually, on that same day that the clip came out, Bub would make this statement saying, I'll be taking a few days off. I am not a drama frog, but certain people love milking things. Believe what you want to believe. I will not stop you, but there's always the other side of the coin. I am sorry to whoever my actions caused harm, even though it wasn't meant with hostility. Now you can see the true disingenuous nature of this entire thing, only saying this right after getting exposed for lying, and also they locked the replies so no one could respond in the replies at least. And on top of that, she's trying to say there's always the other side of the coin. Well, that's the heart of the issue. You showed your side and your side alone, and you painted this narrative that you were the victim, completely innocent in the situation. But then when we saw the other side of the coin, we now know that you were lying about a lot of things. And also you can see this got hit with another note as well, where they're saying she's trying to downplay the harassment and racist remarks that she and her friends had made during that stream. And that's definitely the truth. I mean, why else would she be taking a break at this time? It's obviously to duck and basically hope that this whole thing will just wash over. However, seeing the reaction to Bub, I think Anne here got a little nervous and started to realize that this narrative is getting worse and worse and they need to say something. Well, they made this apology, and I'm only going to read a small section of it because it's outrageous. The amount of gaslighting and excuses that are trying to be made. Let me read this. As I've been sick for the past week and just got released from the hospital today, I find I have to speak on these events publicly. I am not here to defend myself because we all act a certain way when our past trauma is triggered. But I don't want my poor health and past trauma to be an excuse. They spent the first 3 lines talking about how they're sick and they have this trauma, and then they immediately say, but I don't want to use that as an excuse for what I did, which is ridiculous. But then why would you mention those things in the first place? And on top of that, how does this have to do with anything? How does this have to do with racist remarks or view shaming? How does that have to do with anything? It's a ridiculous cop-out. But she goes forward to say, I want it to be a way for me to keep growing in my best version of myself that I always strive for. I want to say first and foremost, I am sorry to my community and I am thankful and grateful to the people that are aware of who I am as a person and know that a little misunderstanding doesn't define me or make me a bad person. So she's basically saying thanks to everyone who knows I'm a good person because I'm not a bad person. You guys know I'm a good person. And this was all just a little misunderstanding, which is a ridiculous way to frame this, and it goes on and on. It doesn't get better. They basically say they dismiss pretty much everything, where they try to act like they're ashamed for everything, but they always had like another layer of an excuse to go along with it, and I don't think people are buying this, and that's not too surprising. But seeing that, we also have to look at the things she said during this whole event. Right back on the 10th, here is what Anne said in the replies to the ban announcement. She said, totally not deserved. One idiot encouraged his viewers to mass report her for a game is such a joke. Meanwhile, this group of people were harassing someone over a game. And here's another comment she made under, I believe, Bub's post saying, totally unfair to see at Twitch support siding with someone who is lying about everything and still get punished for speaking back. Free my girl. So obviously she didn't feel too sorry about these things only a week ago, but now is making all these excuses when really there's no option left. And seeing that, I guess Bub got inspired to do another 180 on this. So she cut the little break short, I guess. And a few hours after Anne's post, she made her own apology post. And I read it for the context of this video, but I'm not going to do it again. You can read it for yourself. It's just a very generic attempt at an apology. And we all know, once again, this is only being done because she's doing damage control. She thought she could just brush this all off and paint a wrong narrative about the situation to play as the victim, but she's only making this because that narrative was completely debunked. And her flippant attitude only 2 days ago does not reflect any sort of sincerity that should be necessary to make a real apology here. But if there is a silver lining, Nap Night here, the person who was harassed by these streamers, has had a lot of new followers. Their count went from 700 Twitch followers to now I believe over 2,000. They've at least tripled their amount of followers. And on top of that, he had a stream where he had 260 plus viewers, which I would imagine is probably more than the previous VTubers who were mocking his view count, which is just karmatic, honestly. But also from seeing the clips of this guy, he seems pretty chill. So I will put a link to his Twitch account in the description if you want to go give him a follow, give him some support, or check out his streams. Feel free to do that. But for now, that is going to do it for this situation. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.